I hate bottled water. But I don't have my reverse osmosis machine out here in Dalton. So at least if you're gonna drink bottled water, if you're forced to, spring water is the best. Give y'all a minute to come up in here. How y'all doing this fine Sunday afternoon on a what, May 7th, 2022? 2023, my bad, 2023. Man, this year is flying by fast. Flying by fast. But I got a lot accomplished. Can you guys hear me? Make sure, let me know if you guys can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know y'all can hear me. Well, I didn't just get through, but I've been working out for about 2 hours. And then I had me some good food. I had some, a nacho supreme from this place called Buck and Burrito out here in Dalton, Georgia. Delicious. Some of the best nachos I ever had, man. Some of the best nachos I ever had. Anyway, how y'all doing? Bro, I thought the title said Massachusetts. What? What is you talking about, man? No. Mass situation. Mass situation, yes. Breaking news. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but there was a mass situation in Allen, Texas, at a mall. As a matter of fact, it was one of those outlet malls. What is it? Outland Premium Outlets. That's where this unfortunate situation occurred. Apparently, 9 people died, including the shooter and a police officer who was at the mall for a different reason. Was just happened to be there, and he, according to the news, he ran toward the situation and took out the shooter. Okay, now we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about. I'm going to read from an article. I'm also going to talk about another situation that happened in Texas, in Brownsville, Texas, where a driver hit and killed 7 pedestrians. Okay, one single driver hit and killed 7 pedestrians and 6 other people that are in critical condition. They're in hospital. Yes, these things happened. I think yesterday. So, or this morning. I don't know exactly. We'll go through the article. Al Dermis says, when Trump was in office, we had record low crime. Now we have no structure in our government. We must arm ourselves. We must protect our community. We must come united. Enough is enough. I agree. But what they want the opposite. Okay? They want us to disarm ourselves in the name of public safety. And they're going to use this shooting in Allen, Texas to push that agenda. Okay? They're going to try to convince Republicans in the Senate and in the House to pass legislation that would further take our rights away. They might actually get some ground this time. Now, y'all know I don't believe in the left-right paradigm bullshit. So, anything goes in this kabuki theater, okay? Anything goes. Now, this happened in Texas. There was another mass situation supposedly in Texas. There was I forgot. Why Texas? Why is this happening in Texas? We know Texas is a constitutional carry state, and they don't like that. They want to present this idea that if you have constitutional carry in these states, you're going to have more death and destruction. Well, the opposite is actually true. But we're going to go over this. We're going to look into this stuff. And there's a reason I want to talk about this car situation. Okay, there was a mass carring in Texas as well. We're going to talk about that, unlike the news. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna kind of relate the two in regards to that. Even though there's not really a lot of information about the driver of the car who hit those 7 people and killed those 7 people, but I mean, it's really irrelevant at this point because what is a car? What is a gun? What do they have in common? That's what we're gonna talk about. Yeah, it was yesterday. Well, Al Dermes, that's what I'm here for, man. Because, I like to get ahead of the bullshit. Now, not really thinking that it's going to do too much because my channel is heavily shadow banned. I've had 1.8 thousand subscribers for the last 2 or 3 years. And they're constantly hitting me with community guideline violations. They gave me 3 in the last month for old ass videos. 2 of them, they just said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're not gonna do anything to you this time. We're just letting you know that we're taking this video down." And then they hit me with a 3rd one where they actually tried to give me a strike, but I appealed it and they removed the strike. It was some bullshit. Okay. And I called them out for shadow banning me when I wrote the appeal. I called them out for shadow banning me, and I pointed out that I did not do what they said I did when they hit me with that. Ryan Sickler repealed the Second Amendment. What is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. We got an anti-gunner in the house. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate that. Ryan Sickler. Good, guys. Mods, do not, y'all know I believe in freedom of speech. We will not delete. We will not delete the comments of Ryan Sickler, please. Ryan Sickler, I'm here for the dissent. So if you have something to say about the Second Amendment that you don't like, we can talk about it. We can definitely talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We are free speech lovers in this motherfucker right here. So you can say what you got to say. We're gonna be respectful about it until you get this. If you start getting disrespectful, we're gonna have to get disrespectful. We get down in the dirt like everybody else. Well, at least I do. Let me speak for myself. Al Dermed says, "Yep, I know, man. I have been watching you for a while now." I just say, "Oh, it's all good, man." I have a lot of shadow watchers too. A lot of big shadow watchers. And I know that they're watching because when I talk about them in my videos, when I call them out on ABS and on their cognitive dissonance and their hypocrisy and contradictory behavior, it turns out I get fucking blocked from their channel. I can't make comments. I can't make comments in their live streams. I know motherfuckers be watching me. I get shadow watched and shadow banned. That's right. Good for you, Shad Killings. Free speech lovers are here, man. So, Ryan Stickler, tell me why, if you're still in here, tell me why we should repeal the Second Amendment. Okay? All right. So, there was, and how is that going to help? Okay? Let's say we do repeal the Second Amendment. What are we going to do with all the firearms that are already in the country? What are we going to do with the people that possess all the firearms in the country? Do you really think that people are going to just give them back like this is Australia or some shit? Or fucking New Zealand? No, it's not gonna go like that. All right, we got over 400 million firearms in this country, legally owned firearms. Over 400 million legally owned firearms in this country. And if the gun was the problem, we would have a lot more than 46,000 deaths per year via firearms. And not only that, of that 46,000 deaths due to firearms, 2/3 of them are by suicide. Okay? Let's get that straight. Repealing the Second Amendment is not going to do anything. All it's going to do is criminalize otherwise good people that own firearms that had no intent and never had any intent on harming other people with their firearms, just to defend themselves. So what is repealing the Second Amendment going to do? And y'all know how I feel about the Constitution, right? It's not really it's a paper tiger, but I don't hide behind the Constitution to defend my rights to keep and bear arms. I don't. Right? I know for a fact that I do not need the Second Amendment to understand that my rights to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. They're just letting you know. The Second Amendment did not grant the right. All it did was let the motherfucking government know that they don't have a right, to step on the right to keep and bear arms and to take that away. And they violated it. So even the Second Amendment is there and they're violating it all the time. There are over 20,000 gun control laws on the books. All right. Let's not forget that murder is already illegal. Theft is robbery is already illegal. Any harm that you can cause to anyone with the firearm is already illegal with or without the firearm. So criminalizing ownership of an inanimate object is retarded. That's what it is. Oh, looks like the anti-gunner doesn't want to expound on his statement. Okay, well, I need my phone stand. I'm always breaking my phone stands. So we're going to get into this, and then I'm going to read a little bit from this article. We know what happened. 9 people dead in a mass situation in Allen, Texas, at a outdoor outlet mall. Okay, that's the gist of it. You know, the guy the shooter was killed allegedly killed by the popo. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day. What can I say? All right, but what's really important to me is the rules of the shopping mall. Okay, the rules of the shopping mall. Let's see. Let me save this one. Let me open up a new tab. All right. So, at least 9 dead, including gunmen, in shooting in situation at Texas Mall. Okay, so this is from a New York Times article. A gunman opened fire at a crowded mall outside of Dallas on Saturday, deleting at least 8 people and injuring at least 7 before a police officer killed him, the authorities said, turning a busy afternoon of shopping into a chaotic, tragic scene. At a news conference Saturday night, Brian E. Harvey, the chief of police in Allen, Texas, did not identify a gunman. Why didn't he identify the gunman? That's interesting. But said the person acted alone. How do you know this? How do they know this information? How did they know this person acted alone? Because he was there alone? I mean, did they go through his phone? Did they look through his messages, emails, or are they just assuming this? Why are we? I don't know. I don't know. They just say that. They say things. A spokesperson for Medical City Healthcare, which was treating several victims at 3 trauma facilities, said the ages of the injured range from 55 years old to 61. The gunfire erupted at 3:30 p.m. at the Allen Premium Sports Outlets as throngs of shoppers filled the outdoor mall, which is about 25 miles north of Dallas and has more than 120 stores. Videos circulating on social media show people dashing for shelter. I didn't see a lot of dashing in the video I saw. I saw people walking around and, I saw some of that going on. Ryan Sickler says, you watch too many movies, you're not going to perform in a shooting the way you think. I watched too many movies. Well, actually, I was in the Army. So, I didn't have to watch a movie to know how to shoot, but it's all good, Ryan. No, I don't watch too many movies. I don't know what that has to do with anything. What does watching a movie have to do with my understanding of my rights to keep and bear arms? You don't know how I'm going to perform in a shooting and I have no expectations of my performance during a shooting in the real world. So it doesn't matter how one might perform in a real life situation. That does not have anything to do with our right to keep bear arms. You see, what he just did was attack a straw man. Okay? No one talked about shooting performance. I said that my right to keep bear arms shall not be infringed. I asked you, why should we repeal the Second Amendment? And if your argument for repealing the Second Amendment is because people are not going to perform like they think they're going to perform in a real shooting situation, does not justify, is not evidence of it does not support ruling out and repealing the Second Amendment. Okay. As a matter of fact, somebody might perform better than they thought they would in a real life situation. You don't know what you're going to do until you're presented with that, but you want the best options possible. You want the best options possible. You want to have the best hardware and the best tools possible to when you encounter that situation. Not having knowledge of how you're going to perform in a shooting does not justify repealing the Second Amendment. Nice try though, buddy. Ryan said the revolutions happen all the time. Though, hell, recently the greatest military on the planet got beat by a bunch of rebels in Asia. I mean, they don't even have a Second Amendment in Afghanistan, and our military just gave them billions of dollars worth of weapons with far greater firepower than we're allowed to have here. They just left that shit there, and they gave them a free airstrip worth billions of dollars. And took about 20 years to build, or 10 years or 8 years to build. Left all that sophisticated weaponry and equipment. No one talked about the second. No one said, "Oh, let's repeal the Second Amendment in Afghanistan," right? But not being able to gauge your performance before a real life situation is not a reason to repeal the Second Amendment. Try again. All right. 7 people, including gunmen, were pronounced dead at the mall. Officials could account for at least 9 people who were transported to hospitals, but more victims may have been taken in private vehicles. The Allen Fire Chief Jonathan Boyd said 2 of those died later. 3 were critical condition and 4 in stable condition. May those people get better. All right. I want to get down to the bottom of this. All right. You see, they can't just report shit. They got to add their little bullshit into it. According to Gun Violence Archive, a database of shootings in the United States, have been 199 mass shootings. They put the quotes around mass shootings, mass situations, which it defines as shooting. There was a particularly deadly spate, large scale last weekend. So it's going to highlight other shootings that happened in Texas. Last weekend, a gunman deleted 5 people in Cleveland, Texas, near Houston, after he was asked by neighbors to stop shooting in the backyard. Y'all remember that? But no anti-gunners came out to say repeal the Second Amendment for that. I wonder why. He was captured after a multi-day manhunt. On Monday, a registered S-word offender fatally shot 6 people, including his wife and 3 of her children, near Tulsa, Oklahoma, before turning the gun on himself. On Wednesday, a gunman opened fire at a medical office building in Atlanta, killing 1 and injuring 4 others. That too led to a manhunt before the suspect was caught. In Allen, Texas, witnesses described the familiar scene of pandemonium as gunfire erupted. Jeffrey Keaton was having lunch with his 16-year-old daughter in Fatburger. Okay. Don't care about that. Like, why are we talking about that? Why are we talking about people? Anyway, they go into how people were talking about what they were doing when the shooting started. But none of them happened to have seen the actual shooting. All they're saying is that they heard someone say shooter and there were gunshots. And then one guy says, as Americans, we're used to this because everyone knew exactly what to do. Yeah, it's very interesting. These witnesses, they're talking about how they heard gunshots and heard people say shooter, but none of them are talking about how they saw the gunman. Brayson Jones had arrived early for his shift at Champ Sports Outlet store and was sitting in his car when he heard 20 plus gunshots. Interesting. Everybody's hearing shots. Yep. All right. All right. So here in this last paragraph, of course, we have to go into in a statement. Brady for gun violence. Y'all know that, right? Brady, the extremely anti-gun group. In a statement, Chris Brown, the president of Brady, the gun violence prevention organization, noted that the long list of shootings in a short week. A house, a doctor's office, now a mall. There's terrific tragedies occurring when increasing regularity, and it's clear there's no place in this country where Americans are safe from gun violence. There are, because there's no such thing as gun violence. Okay, guns don't commit violence. Guns are a tool that humans use to commit violence. Why are we anthropomorphizing motherfucking inanimate objects? Why are we taking the responsibility off the motherfucker doing the shooting? Why are we calling it gun violence when someone's pulling the trigger? Why are we making a distinction between one form of violence and another because one of those things go bang and people can use it to defend themselves against tyranny? Why is it gun violence? But this will continue to be our reality unless and until the U.S. changes its relationship with guns. Relationship with guns? No, we don't have a relationship with guns. You have relationships with people, not inanimate objects. What's up, Black Spring with Autumn? She in the building? No, we don't have a relationship with guns, okay? We might collect guns. We might appreciate our gun collection. We might like going shooting. We might like shooting practice. We might like hunting. We might like shooting in competition. We might not like the knowledge that we have, the tools that the tools to defend ourselves against an attacker. That's what we like. We don't have a relationship with guns. You know what I'm saying? We don't. But see, that's what they want to say. The same thing they say about food, right? Oh, we got to change our relationship with food. You know, when you say that, it makes it sound like, you know, that's the excuse you use for not putting the fucking fork down. Okay? Put the fucking fork down. Move more, eat less if you want to lose some motherfucking weight. Same thing with guns. Oh, you don't want to go out and kill somebody? Don't pick up your gun and do it. As simple as that. Relationship with guns, we don't have a relationship with guns. Some people use guns to cause harm to other people. Some people use knives. Some people use bombs. Some people use cars. Some people use trucks. Some people use poison. Some people use mustard gas. Some people use predator drones. Some people use motherfucking tow missiles. Some people use, some people use surface to air missiles. Some people use fighter jets. You see where I'm getting at? Black flag contingent. Idiot drives cars too. Brick stones, yeah. So it's not the gun, it's the idiot behind it. Exactly. Jimmy Crit says the outlet has no weapon. Exactly, Jimmy. I was going to get into that. Jimmy beat me to the punch. Al Dermot says, fights, we got to come united. We need to hear from individuals that give us clarity. We must stand together. We need you, bro, to lead us with your expertise. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Damn, how's my battery already got damn low like that? I might have to charge my battery. And the charge is way over there. Let's see. Black idiots drive cars too. This is the thing. Why guns? Why are they so focused on guns? Because if they take the guns away, if they restrict guns to the point where all we can use is fucking air pistols and shit like that, it'll be easier for them to control us. That's what this is all about. You think that they? Do you think they think it's a tragedy when these things happen? When these mass situations happen, do you think they think it's a tragedy? No, they don't think it's a tragedy. They love this shit. Because the more of it happens, the more they can push the bullshit. They love it. They love it. And they might even be instrumental to some of it. Right? I mean, didn't multiple shooters go to the FBI and say that they feel like they want to kill somebody before they did it? And the FBI was like, hey, get the fuck out of here. How many times have the Charleston shooter, right? They ran a background check. And the FBI fucked up the background check. But not only that, the thing that they would have found is not even a felony. So he would have got the shit anyway. Excuse me. I mean, look, perfect example. Look at what happened in Australia and New Zealand during the Modelo 19 pandemic. What, not a year after they had to give up their shit because of the church shooting, church falls or falls church shooting situation. 2 days later, they fucking banned firearms, assault weapons, so-called. And then not a year later, they're able to lock motherfuckers down. They're able to lock down the whole country. They're able to offer 6 fucking deaths from the Modelo 19, supposedly. They were able to keep motherfuckers in their buildings. Wouldn't allow them to go outside. Wouldn't allow them to walk around. How do you think it was so easy for them to do that? Because they laid down and they gave it up. They laid down and they gave it up. We have an idiot in the White House, for example. Well, there's not just an idiot in the White House. There's idiots in the White House. There's idiots in the Congress. There's idiots all over the place. Father No, bro, good to see you. Glad you finally got a day off. Word, Father No. Shit, I've been working 7-12. Well, not 7-12, but I've been working 7 days a week for the last few weeks. They love these mass situations because it'll bring them ever so closer to the utopia that is New Zealand and motherfucking Australia and Japan and motherfucking China. What and what about the suicide rate in Japan? Everybody want to talk about how perfect Japan is, and they don't have gun violence, and they don't have guns, but they're fucking offing themselves left and right. The highest suicide rate in the fucking world. What about that? So I'm going to read you their policy at this mall. Okay, let me tell you. It is against the law in Texas, where there's constitutional carry, to conceal or open carry in a private place where they don't allow firearms. So you get the same penalties you would get if there were gun laws, right? It's a violation. So if a private business, which that mall is, states that they do not allow firearms or weapons on their premises, then you essentially have all the gun control any gun control lover would ever need. You would have every form of gun control you would ever need in that mall. Why? Because no weapons are allowed, period. No weapons. No weapons allowed. Now, what is a weapon? I mean, that's a very ambiguous term. But rest assured that guns are considered weapons, okay? Is a hammer a weapon? It can be used as a weapon. It wasn't designed to be used as a weapon, but it can be. You see what I'm getting at? It's ambiguous up to a degree because everybody knows that guns are weapons. It's a tool to be used as a weapon. And that's what it's designed for. See, I love it when they tell people, oh, guns, these things are designed to kill people at the fastest rate possible. Duh. Yeah, that's what it's designed for. Guns are designed to kill the target. That's what it's designed for. I'm sorry. But does that mean that we don't have the right to use it because it's designed to kill? No. That doesn't mean shit. That means that we are capable of using whatever tool possible to defend our life against someone who means to end our life. Period. And you want the best tool possible. So I don't know why we're acting like that's a bad thing, that these tools are, designed. Oh, look at it's designed to kill. Yeah, all guns are designed to kill. That's their justification for trying to ban assault weapons. Duh, yeah. I don't know. That's not an argument to ban it. I'm sorry. It's not an argument. It's not an argument to ban it. Oh, it allows you to kill people with the most efficiency possible. Well, if you have a home intruder or two that have pistols and you have an AR-15, you damn well I'm going to use that AR-15 to defend myself and my family against those motherfuckers with pistols. Oh, the bullet can travel through walls and this, that, and the third. Well, you know what? That's why they have different ammo types. They have home defense ammo types for AR-15s. Or you can use a handgun pistol ammo style rifle. Like I had before I lost it in a boating accident. I had a Scorpion Evo. Okay, it's a 9mm carbine. Boom, hollow tips. That shit ain't traveling through walls. It would be considered an assault weapon by these idiots, these intellectually dishonest and ignorant people that don't even know what the difference between a clip and a magazine. Okay. Bottom line. Choose your home defense weapon wisely. People that collect firearms and know what to do and have knowledge of firearms and know what's best to use in what circumstance, they know the best weapon to use in the circumstance they're in. For home defense, you might want to use birdshot in your shotgun, right? You don't want to use the buckshots necessarily, the steel buckshots necessarily, especially if you got kids in the other room. You might want to use birdshot, which will take a motherfucker down. It might not kill him, but it'll take a motherfucker down, incapacitate him. These are things that we have knowledge of as gun owners who have the knowledge, okay? Or, like I said, my 9mm carbine that I had before I lost it, that you could load with soft tip bullets, soft tip 9mm or subsonic 9mm, 9mm bullets with hollow tips. You can use something like that. That won't go through your walls necessarily. And it won't go through the body of an attacker. Things to think about. Or a pistol. You got pistols. You got 9mm pistols. You got 45s, 45mm pistols. The heavier the grade of the bullet, the slower it's going to travel, the less chance it's going to penetrate a wall. These are things that we know as gun owners. You see, these people think that there's only one type of bullet for every gun. They think that every AR-15, the only bullet you can ever use for an AR-15 is a motherfucking armor-piercing supersonic round. That's not the truth. It's not the truth. These people are crazy. I'm going to read you some of the codes of conduct of this mall here. Of the mall in Texas. Hold on, let me make sure this is the right mall because it says Simon. I think Simon owns it, but yeah. Yep, for premium outlets. So Simon, this is coming from the Simon website. They own the premium outlets. So They own the Allen Premium Outlet. They own all these premium outlet malls, wherever the fuck they're at. Okay? Wear appropriate clothing. Hoodies are acceptable. Disruptive behavior is prohibited. No weapons. There you go. No weapons. Boom. There you go. So guess what people did? People that generally follow the rules and obey the laws, they're not going in there with their firearms. Okay? Even in Texas. Because they don't want to get in no fucking trouble. They want to go and they want to shop. They want to get the fuck out. But what they have effectively done, making this a gun-free zone, is made it easy work for someone who might violate those rules. Okay? He violated it. He broke every law and every rule in the book in regards to firearms when he went in there in the first place with his firearm. He already violated. Then he continued to violate by shooting people. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? Shooting people, whether you're in the mall or not, is against the law. It's against law already. Killing people, robbing people, you understand what I'm saying? Hurting other people, assaulting people is already against the law. It's already against natural law. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't need a gun law to effectively enforce that. You understand what I'm saying? Because anything that you could do with a firearm to harm other people, there's already laws against doing that very thing to other people. But they don't want to talk about that. And taking away and prohibiting firearms and prohibiting the use and where you carry and where you can't carry it, all this other shit, is just a way for them to make you victims and reliant on the government. And in this case, a mall cop, mall security, or whatever the case may be. You are now leaving yourself at the behest of the people that you feel is supposed to protect you. If your rate could be Riddick. What? Let's see. Go through some comments here. Let's see. Father Note says, and cop showed up to her house, whose house, and warrant and cuffed her right in front of her husband. Took the husband's phone right out of his hand and everything. So much violence in America. So much violence everywhere. So much violence everywhere. It's not just, see, there's this misconception, right? That just America is the most violent country. No, it's not. Not by a long shot. And that's thanks to ownership firearms by regular people. Okay? Because according to the CDC, the use of firearms have prevented up to 2 million crimes against people. Okay, firearms have been used in 60 to 2 million instances where it prevented an attack, prevented a death, prevented a robbery. And most of the time, all you have to do is show that you have it. All you got to do is brandish it, and it stops shit. So firearms, people who use firearms, because I'm not going to anthropomorphize an inanimate object to prove my point. No, the people have used firearms to save people, save themselves and save others more than firearms were used to kill people. Way more, exponentially more. But they're not going to talk about that. That's why the CDC erased that fucking data. They deleted it off their website at the behest of the anti-gun lobby. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, hammers are melee weapons. Mr. Two Beans, 9mm travels through walls also is a hot round. It's a hot round. Lord help me. It's a hot round. Oh my God. It's a hot round. I don't know how to respond to that. Somebody help me out. It's a hot round. 9mm travel through walls. Also, it's a hot round. It's a hot round. Okay, it's a hot round. Again, Mr. Two Beans, Toe Beans, whatever the hell your name is. There are there's different ammunition types for the 9mm. You could use hollow points. Hollow points are not going to travel through walls like that. And I don't know what hot rounds mean, right? Because every round that you shoot from a firearm is essentially going to be hot. I don't know what that means, hot round. Help me. Lord help me. You have subsonic ammunition. You got hollow point ammunition. You got soft tip ammunition. Miss me with the bullshit, okay? Miss me with that. I say that because some police departments won't allow hollow points. Yeah, I mean, every bullet every ammunition type that you use can kill you, even a fucking 22 if you place it right, because it's going to bounce around inside you and tear up your organs. But a hollow point, yeah, is designed to kill the person that it impacts. It's generally not going to pass through the target, including a wall, a 9mm. Hollow point. I mean, listen. They have dug bullets out of walls, okay? That didn't happen to travel through 9mm bullets. There's not only one type of ammunition. Can't Guard DJ says weapons are there to basically defend your own self and property from danger. Like, wouldn't want something that is effective to it. Yeah. Do you want something effective? I don't know. See, they use that as an argument to ban a certain firearm by saying it's efficient. No, no shit. That's why we want it. Al Dermez says, I will say this as well. We have no more discipline in our schools anymore. There is no structure. Yeah, all this is culminating. All these things that they have been doing over the last 20 or 30 years is now culminating in the pussification of the people of the United States of America. And yeah, we're way too comfortable in our victimhood. Black Flag Contingent says the term assault weapon is ambiguous and redundant in and of itself. Yeah, exactly. What do you do with a weapon but assault somebody? You can assault somebody in defense of yourself. You can assault someone unprovoked. You know, anything that you assault somebody with is a weapon. Like, is an assault weapon. I throw a paper at someone. Is now assault. Exactly, Mr. Two Bones. Father, no. Then it was any guy that can't defend himself against false domestic violence claim. I mean, the decks are stacked, but we just got to continue to discern the bullshit and get through it. There are 50 cal variants like Beowulf, but not BMG. Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, but I don't think those are called AR-15s. I think that's called something else. Just like this, a 7.62. There's an AR platform for 7.62 or 7.62 or what's that? What's the equivalent? I forgot. But yeah, that's called an AR-10. Black Flag Contingent says, throwing my strap on right now and going to the store to get some supplies. I'll catch. That's what's up, man. Stay strapped. It's like the old saying, when they came for so-and-so, it wasn't a so-and-so, so I didn't worry about it. When they came for such and such, it wasn't a such and such, and they came for me. That's funny. Golden's Dancer says, right, 2 whole wars in progress elsewhere. Yeah, like this is we're the most violent. No, we're not. Yep, nothing works faster to put the brakes on shit. You ain't even got to say anything, just show the peace. And yeah, so and that's another thing. What type of violence are they referring to? What about the violence that the government initiates against its own people? Does that count? Because if we're going to go there are plenty of countries that have us by a long shot. Like, our own government commits mass violence against its own people and people of other countries. But other countries do it at a much larger rate. You know why? Because the people in those other countries do not have the capability of exercising their rights. It's not that it's not that they don't have the right. It's just that their government doesn't allow them to exercise their rights, particularly to keep and bear arms, and thus they are under the thumb of that government, and their government commits violence towards them all the time. They weld them shut in their own fucking houses. They keep them in camps. They enslave still in other countries like Libya. I mean, the list goes on. Like, you know, trust me, the only reason that we're as free as we are today is because our right to keep and bear arms isn't completely infringed upon to the degree that they want it to be. That's why I'm still here on this fucking YouTube right now, able to talk the shit I'm talking right now. If we lived in a country where this was not allowed, I would not be able to speak like this without an assassination attempt on my life. Ask Salman Rushdie. Ask him. When you speak out against your government, when you speak out against the government that does not allow you to speak out against them and does not allow you to exercise your rights to keep and bear arms to some degree, ask him. Ask him what that can lead to. I don't know. I think Father Noah was trolling us. That's what I think. I think Father Noah was trolling us about the hot around stuff. I think he was trying to say what the gun controllers be saying. Kelvin Black, most 9mm pistols are less than 5 inches, therefore moving slower than a rifle. Yeah, absolutely. Mighty Mouse posted a comment bashing you in a live video last night. He said you wouldn't fight him. MMA style. Okay. That's because I'm not an MMA fighter. I don't fight MMA style. I use Muay Thai and boxing. I don't roll around on the ground with dudes. I don't do that. Because I was never, listen, grappling on the ground and shit like that, jiu-jitsu, didn't really get big until I was older. And, you know, I was never a wrestler. I was never the one to roll on the ground and grapple and all that other stuff. So, no, because MMA includes rolling around on the ground and shit. I don't do that. I'm a stand-up striker. That's what I am. I'm a stand-up. But I don't understand why he's still talking about me. I don't talk about him anymore. I feel like I accomplished much of my mission, which is to prevent him from going to parks where kids are, you know, to do these fight events because he's a diddler. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. He hasn't done any events in LA since I came out against him. So, I mean, I don't know why he's still talking about me. Right, bro. Could Chinese military just show up to your house? No, they wouldn't be able to do that. Listen, this is the thing. I don't say anything. Who made that comment then? It wasn't Father No. Oh, Mr. No Beans. That's right. My bad, Father No. It was Mr. Toe Beans. Mr. Toe Beans said that, but I think Mr. Toe Beans was trolling too. Herb Murphy, Mighty Mouse was a part of the Mongols MC Now. He was a Mongol. He was a disciple. He was a fucking, I don't know what that motherfucker is. He's a chameleon. Okay, that's all I can say about him. But what I want to talk about, yeah, Mighty Mouse. I mean, listen, we sparred before I knew that he was a nasty kitty diddler. Okay, and before Street Beefs really turned on him because, you know, he came out and said that he was pimping some chick, okay, who had a daughter or some shit like that. But then it comes out through, you know, police reports and all this shit that he was diddling the girl. Hold on. Shit. I'll tell you what, guys. Hold on. Let me get my charger. So yeah, so me and Mighty Mouse sparred. It was a boxing sparring. Hold on. It was supposed to be some. There was supposed to be some Muay Thai in there as well, but he didn't bring his shin guards. We were supposed to do Muay Thai sparring as well, but he didn't bring his shin guards, so we never got to do that. But it wasn't like a go hard in the paint sparring match. It was a real light, touching. It was no. I didn't know it was a fight. So yeah, 308. That's the one. AR-10. All right, that didn't work. That did not work. Now that this damn charger cord is here. Oh boy. I'm trying to this damn charger cord. And I can't rotate the phone because then I gotta get creative here. Boy. Yeah, I don't have the most professional setup. Try this. All right. Yeah, 308. So that's what else. My AR-10. Can y'all hear me still? I don't have AR-10. I lost it during the boning accident. But I had an AR-10 that could shoot 7.62 and 308 Winchester. Wait. Oh, hell for review. I was about to say, who blocked, who deleted? Bro, here's the scary thing, that shit they did in Louisiana during Katrina, going door to door and taking guns. Yeah, that was bullshit. And in Watertown, when they were looking for a Boston Marathon bomber, yeah. Oh, there's a scary bomber on the loose. Let's go door to door and take people's guns away so that they can't defend themselves against them. It's completely illogical. Completely illogical. Completely illogical. Let me see. Can't imagine cops showing up in a mass pointing ARs at me, yelling at me to come out of my house. Yeah, scary shit. Scary shit. And there is a possibility that one day that will happen, whether they have our firearms or not. Okay, and then people are going to be put to the test. The amazing Lucas, when the Modelo 19 thing happened, he called out conservatives for not rising up with their firearms and fighting against tyranny. Well, you know that those lockdowns only happened in certain places. They didn't happen like that in most conservative places. So conservatives didn't really have to worry about that, right? And that wasn't necessarily a time to grab up firearms and start just shooting public. It wasn't. That wasn't it. Because there were many states that didn't do lockdowns like that. There were many states that left it up to the private businesses and all this other stuff. That's not a good example of when. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. Most of the lockdowns were happening in places like California, okay, where many of the people agreed with that. Anyway, don't underestimate one's capability of defending their own rights when push comes to shove. That's what I'll say to the clown shoe Lucas. Because there wasn't some grand uprising during the Modelo 19 lockdowns where people showed up with their firearms and just started blowing up the government. He feels like that those same people wouldn't do it if it were necessary. Excuse me. I wonder how well they can pull that shit off not very well. No, they didn't. No, the Rashard Givens. No one deleted the comments. No one deleted Father Knows the comments. They YouTube automatically did it because he put a couple cuss words in there. But I think I was able to. It's not giving me the option to show the comments anyway. I feel about the boating accident, bro. I got abducted by aliens, so they took. Yeah, I get. That shit happens too, man. I know a couple people that got their shit taken by aliens. It's tragedy, you know. Those damn aliens, man. I want to talk about this car crash that happened in Brownsville, Texas. All right. And I'm going to see if there is a call, if they treat this similarly to firearm ownership. I don't think they are, but we're going to see. All right. If they're going to mention an article. Now, it wasn't the same news outlet, so it's not really a good comparison. I'm going to read this article. 7 people have been killed after a car plowed into a group of migrants outside a migrant shelter in a horror crash today. Multiple migrants are among the dead, and harrowing images of social media suggest that there is anger as people speculated about the nature of the crash. So they think this was a deliberate crash. A car plowed into a group of migrants, killing 7 of them. All right. Migrant, no migrant, motherfucking citizen, it doesn't matter. Somebody used a tool to kill a bunch of people. And that's wrong. For whatever reason these migrants are here, they're just here, right? I don't agree with it. I don't agree with a bunch of people flooding the country. That's a whole nother fucking video. I do believe in the freedom of travel, but, because of the way that we have built this country and the way that we treat other countries, it's not very wise to just let a bunch of people come into the country that could do whatever. Okay. That's a whole nother video though. I talked about it before, right? As an anarchist, it's difficult for me to say, no, we shouldn't just let anybody come up in here. But anarchy is not about everybody being able to do whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want. That's not what anarchy is about. Anarchy is about strictly no rulers. That's what it means. No dictators, no tyrants. That's what anarchy means. It doesn't mean that you go around, do whatever you want, kill anybody you want, steal whatever you want, set fires, throw Molotov cocktails. That's not what anarchy is. But in regards to the immigration debate, it's extremely nuanced, right? That's another story. Anyway, killed 7 migrants. Multiple migrants are among the dead, okay? 7 people are dead and at least 6 are injured after they were struck by a vehicle while waiting at a city bus stop, police in Brownsville, Texas, said Sunday. Police have arrested a man and are holding him in custody under a 24-hour guard watch, police told reporters. Brownsville police investigator Martin Sandoval said the crash happened about 8:30 a.m. Sunday at the bus stop near a shelter for migrants in the border city. It's unclear what led to the crash. Okay? Harrowing footage on social media, too graphic to share, shows multiple bodies strewn on the ground in pools of blood. People are fucking crazy, man. Wow. This is fucking amazing. Look how they try to look how they divert the story. I want y'all to see how they divert the story. All right. Also, how they divert the attention to it's just despicable. Okay. Also tonight, Brownsville police investigator Martin Sandoval has revealed a driver was arrested on charge of reckless driving, but more charges are likely to be filed. All right. So he told reporters the incident is looking more and more like an intentional act. So let's break this down. A likely intentional act where someone used a vehicle to kill 7 people in a crowd. 7 people and injure 6 others. That is 13 total victims of mass carring. Okay? That is a mass carring situation, and we need to do something about that. You understand what I'm saying? We need something strong. We need strong legislation to prevent the next mass carring, okay? And we're going to talk about that. This is the second horror to hit Texas in the weekend. Now, this is the diversion. Yesterday, an evil gunman slaughtered 8 people, including children, at the Allen Premium Outlets Mall in Allen. Now, in the article where they talked about the Allen shooting, did they say that there was a horrible attack by a car in Brownsville, Texas? Valley Central reports a woman who drove by the scene saw several ladies praying nearby as multiple bodies lined the road where victims were piled into ambulances. Lieutenant Sandoval said the crash happened about 8:30 a.m. Sunday. That was today. Damn it, it's fucking ads. Why are all these ads popping up on my fucking phone, man? Jesus, it's fucking up the placement. 7 people dead, at least 6, blah, blah, blah. Damn, what the fuck? Anyway. So it happened at 8 a.m. this morning, 8:30 a.m. What the fuck? So the driver's being tested for alcohol, it says. Some people were moving, some were not. Police have yet to comment on possible motive or whether the crash was intentional. They said it was likely intentional. What are you talking about? Yeah. You see what I'm? Look, this is the thing, man. Here's Allie Bradley. At least 7 migrants are dead and 4 to 6 hurt. So listen, it's likely that this cat used a vehicle to deliberately run into 7 people in a crowd and kill them. Well, he ran into 13 people and killed 7 of them. He used a tool that is designed to get him from point A to point B to kill 7 people. But they will not call for car control. They will not call. And look, this is with all the regulations on cars that we already have. You know, the licensing and the registration and taxes and all this other shit. Cars are already regulated. Boom. This guy used the car to commit a crime to do something that was illegal, whether he used the car to do it or not. He killed 7 people, period. The means by which he did it is not as important other than for evidence to tie him to the crime. Other than that, he killed 7 people. He killed 7 people. His car didn't kill 7 people. He used his car to kill 7 people. But you will not hear these people come out. Brady, violence against some shit, the blah, 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 the fucking groups, they're not coming out to speak out against people driving cars. They're not going to do that. But anybody can, look, you know how many pedestrians on the road every day? Millions. Okay? All somebody has to do is get a wild hair up there and say, you know what, I want to kill a bunch of people today. And they don't even need a fucking gun. They can just, hell, they can wait until a school lets out. And a bunch of kids are coming out and getting ready. You know what I'm saying? They all coming out in front of the goddamn school. All they got to do is boop, 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 boop. That's all they got to do. They don't need a gun for that. All they need is the intent in their heart to go and kill some people. And it doesn't matter what they do it with. Like I said, unless it's to be used for evidence to tie them to the crime. That's the only important thing here in regards to the tool is how we use it as evidence. The firearm in that Allen Mall shooting is not important. Other than to say, hey, this guy walked up in here with this firearm and killed this many people. Outside of that, the firearm does not have any relevance whatsoever in this case. Now we got to look at the human being that did this and to try to determine why. And make sure that we can prove that he actually did it. And then not put his ass in a fucking jail or a fucking prison. Well, he's dead. The shooter, the situationer from the Alamo, he's dead, right? What about the guy who drove the car and killed the people? The only important thing about that, okay, we use the car to tie him to the death, to the murders, and then boom. Let's not put him in jail for life where he can get 3 hots in the cot and live on our dime. No, let's take his ass to the back of the goddamn, wherever you feel comfortable. In front of a brick wall, in front of a concrete wall, whatever. Line his ass up with other violent attackers that have killed people and have R-worded women and children. And we use maybe $20 worth of ammunition to take their ass out. Boom, they're gone from this world. We ain't got to worry about feeding these motherfuckers. Why do we have a death row? If you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that these motherfuckers did these heinous acts, why are we putting them on death row? Why is there a 25 to life? That's what they should be putting their energy toward. Are some of them insane, some of them crazy, some of them sick? Some of them have a chemical imbalance? Perhaps. But can you fix that? Can you really fix that? Can that be rehabilitated? Can you rehabilitate someone who kills intentionally someone else without provocation? That's the question. The focus is too much on, let's not allow regular people who, not good people, let's not allow them to have these tools because this clown over here used the tool to cause harm. Let's make sure that these people can use that same tool. That's not how that's too much energy on that. By hearing and hearing by, maybe force all cars to be self-driving. Hell no. Hell no. Because all they got to do is put a code in there and that car will go off and boom. No, I don't agree with that. What message is held for review? Why do they keep holding messages for review? Anyone else feel like criminals have higher status, better standing in America than hard working dudes that were born? Yeah. Bust their ass to pay taxes and were law abiding. Yeah. I would agree with that. The Chinese collect these people in Texas. That's funny. Shouting Cloud says, what's up, Shouting Get Clouds and by hearing and hearing by? How many times someone tried to run me over deliberately? Right. It's the heart intent. Exactly. Them trays aren't hot. What are you talking about? Shot killings. Where morality comes into play. Yeah. Father Note, bro, does it seem like the system cares about doing anything right? No, it can't. Its very existence goes against doing anything right and moral and righteous. Because the existence of government, see, in order for government to exist, you have to extract, okay? The government doesn't produce. All it does is take. It takes and destroys. In order for it to exist and to operate, because the government is not a producer, governments are not producers. In order for them to exist, they have to take things. They have to take your wealth. They have to take the wealth of the people that they govern over. Governments don't produce at all. Well, they do produce. They produce, tyranny. That's what they produce. The government cannot exist without extracting from something else. So the very existence of government is immoral in the first place. The government can't do anything right without doing something wrong to someone else. The government cannot do a right thing by someone without doing the wrong thing to other people. That's why Joe Biden is talking about charging people with good credit, charging people with good credit more money to get a home loan so that he can give that money to people who with bad credit so they can get a home loan. You see what they did there? They want to do good for the person with the bad credit. So they got to take something from the person that has the good credit. The government cannot do anything. The government cannot buy toilet paper for the bathrooms without taking from something else. Taking from someone else that does produce. The government extracts wealth from producers and gives that shit to consumers. The government extracts wealth from the people and they give incentives and they give bailouts to the elites that are supposed to be producers, but they're kind of like a hybrid, right? They're hybrid. Corporations produce to a degree. The corporations produce so that they can lobby to the government to get tax breaks and to get incentives to sell you shit at an exorbitant price. So that they can then take that extra money that they got from you and shore up their life and make sure that they're insulated. The government facilitates that. So the government ain't no good. The government, the number one producer of tyranny of all time, is the current reigning champion. Exactly. Self-driving car comment was me being dry. I don't trust him. I'll get you by here and by. Damn, another goddamn message held for review. Father No says people would be hacking self-driving. Yeah, she was just being facetious. Not facetious, but being droll. And this is the bottom line to it, y'all. That's the bottom line to it. But what are we going to do about these mass carrings? Oh, well, there's not as many mass carrings as there are mass situations. It doesn't matter. Mass death, mass casualty occurred. So we got to stop this. What do? Do we ban cars? Do we ban the car that he was using? Not allow good people who don't intend on running other people over. Do we ban the car that he used so that they won't do it to somebody else, even though they have no intent and probably never ever will in their life? Why are they not talking? Why are they not saying we should ban cars? Why are they not saying we should regulate and all this other shit? And here's another thing. You have to go through driver's training. You got to take a written test. You got to take a on the road test. You got to pay all these fees. Yet and still, people are still going to fucking break the speed laws. They're going to crash their cars. They're going to talk. They're going to be on their phone while they're driving. All that shit. These rules and laws are not in place to prevent anything. It's not there to prevent anything. It is there to collect in labor or in extortion funds once you violate them. And what do I mean by labor? Well, if you do something bad, you break a law, you break a rule to a degree where it's like a felony or something like that, they're going to send you to prison where you're going to have to perform some type of work at slave wages. Laws are not there to prevent crime. Laws are there to extract once you commit them. Once you break those laws, that's what they're there for. That's why they're so they figured out the formula. Let's put as many laws out there as possible. Let's create as many laws as possible so that if people violate them, whether they create a victim or not, whether there's a victim involved or not, we can extract from them in the form of a fine or prison time. That's the bottom line to it. But they can't justify banning vehicles because someone committed a mass situation with a vehicle. They can't do it because It's not going to be effective against them necessarily if we needed to defend ourselves against full on tyranny. It's not about stopping anything, right? These calls for gun control and all, it's not about that. It is about control. It is about making it easier to control you, period. And trying to push for car control, I mean, there's no point, right? No point. You can have 100 mass carings in 2 days. It's still, then they're still not going to call for stricter car control. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because you're 9 times out. I mean, listen, you're not going to be able to defend yourself with a car if they come for you. Okay, if they come, if it's time for them to put them jack boots on the ground and go door to door and snatch your ass up for whatever reason, the car is not going to stop them, right? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You know, it's not. It's the whole point. But a firearm is something that you can pick up, that you can keep within arm's reach, and display some resistance with. Can't do that with a car if you're in your goddamn house on the couch, can you? Or in the bedroom at night, half sleep. You're not going to be able to go in your car safe and pull out a car and defend yourself with it. That's why they're not going to fucking push for car control, regardless of how many people get killed with cars. Well, they're going to make stricter rules on the road. They might lower a speed limit or two. They might make stricter, hell, vehicular manslaughter. They might make the sentencing harsher, but they're not going to say, "Oh yeah, we got to stop," but we got to do a car confiscation under any circumstance. There could be 30,000. There could be 3 million intentional deaths by the use of intentional murder by the use of a car in 1 year, and they're still not going to fucking do anything to. They're not going to call for car control. They're not going to call for car confiscation. They're not going to call for background checks to get a car. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not. They're not going to call for a buyback program for your car because somebody that don't even know you or you don't know them, you decided to use a car in a crime. They're not going to come for your car rights. They're not. And that's the point. But you can still use that car to kill a bunch of people. And that's the gambit. The gambit is they're going after your guns because you can use your guns to create resistance. Whether you win or not, whether you can effectively resist, it's not the point. They don't want any resistance. They don't want, you know what I mean? They want as many enforcers alive as possible to do their bidding. They're not going to come to your house and take your shit. They're going to send police officers. They're going to send law enforcement from the federal side and from the state side and local side. That's what they're going to send. They need them to enforce their rules and enforce their laws because they lazy and soft asses are not going to come do it. They're not going to come do it. They don't want to get their hands dirty. And that's the bottom line to it. And with that, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to read a couple comments and go. So this is really a problem in Japan, in Korea, and a lot of places. But in America, it sure seems like how the hell is a guy supposed to come up with a down payment on a house and pay a mortgage? Speed limit on the highway is 70, but mass produce 700 horsepower cars. Hey, that's how it works. Yeah, Charlottesville. That's what I'm. No. Charleston. The Charleston shooter, the guy who went to the church. The guy who went the guy that went to the church and killed nine black parishioners, churchgoers, and got a hamburger afterward. That guy, Dylan Mulvaney or whatever his name is. No, Dylan Mulvaney is that little fucker, that tranny fucker that is using whatever. Dylan Roof, yes. Have you tried driving through Virginia speed trap? No, I haven't. I haven't been in Virginia yet. I haven't been in Virginia yet. I've been. I almost went. I've been as far north of here as North Carolina, Winston Salem, North Carolina. If they come for me, they got another thing coming. Hey, yeah, speed limit 80 in Texas. Shout out Cloud says, "I'm glad to see you're healthy and doing well." I am actually. I feel pretty good. I feel as good as I did when I was in the army. I feel as in shape. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for coming through and checking out this live stream. Please do like and share. There are probably going to be more videos in the YouTube streets about this mass shooting, this mass situation in Texas. I don't know if they're going to cover the car thing, but if you guys go on these channels, make sure they know about the mass carring, okay, in Brownsville, Texas. All right, make sure they know about that. Make sure we cover it, especially those who are supposed to be pro 2A. Make sure that they cover that. Yep, Charleston, South Carolina. Have a double. I don't drink alcohol no more. I haven't drank alcohol in 2 years. I don't consume anything that alters my mental state. I want to say mentally, I want to have the most mental clarity possible in my life. So, especially nowadays, you got to stay on point. All right, guys, much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're going to keep marching forward to our freedom. Peace.